is your look at weather for this half hour.
Thank you, Cyril. Well, there's no denying that winter is officially here, and it's only the first few days of January, so we're in for a few solid months of cold temperatures. But one way that you can deal with it is to book a trip to a warm destination. And here to tell us what we need to know before you go is Julia Kent of CAA Atlantic. Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
I know I've been daydreaming of a trip south for the last couple of months, ever since those temperatures went down.
Today is not helping either.
No, it's really, really not. I was saying this morning it was like -14 when I got in my car.
Yeah.
Not fun.
It's frigid.
It's frigid.
It's frigid. It's it's an Atlantic Canadian winter.
Yeah, and we all just want that something to look forward to as well. So what do you say are some of the things that people need to consider when deciding where they should go on that vacation?
Well, I mean, the first thing, you should probably already have had your winter vacation booked, but in the event you don't yet and you are really hating the weather right now, the first thing we always recommend is to use a certified travel counselor. Contrary to popular belief, they actually have access to everything we have access to online and more.
Okay.
So they can see even more options, more deals, things like that. And then you want to sit down with them and talk about what type of vacation do you really want? Do you want a couple's vacation, a romantic vacation, an adventure vacation, or is it a family vacation? And then you're going to want to talk about budget. I mean, that's a huge factor. Set a budget and keep everything in mind. So shopping, excursions, activities, not just accommodations and your flights. You want to look at the big picture and create a budget with your travel counselor.
Right. And what's great about a lot of them have been to the places that, you know, you might go to, so they can give you like first-hand experience.
Exactly. That's the best part about using a certified travel counselor, because that's their job. Their job is to know, their job is to have gone there, and they can typically give you tips, like insider scoop, that you wouldn't get from like booking online or something like that.
And I think like it's cool because they're so honest too. They're like, oh, go to this one, it's better than this one, or the food's better here, and that goes a long way too.
Huge, huge, especially if you're taking your kids to somewhere like Walt Disney World. There's definitely a lot of do's and don'ts, and travel counselors can help with that.
Right. Okay, what if you don't want to go to like the typical all-inclusive like beach resort? What are the other options?
There's lots of other options. I mean, one of the things that I personally really recommend are cruises. They're awesome. And they're gaining in popularity, and they're wonderful this time of year for the sunny destinations.
Okay.
But there's also other options like European cruises and stuff like that. River cruises are also really becoming very popular.
Have you ever been on a river cruise?
Not a river cruise, but I've been on 4 actual cruises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what is the experience like versus being on that all-inclusive beach vacation? Because I've never been on a cruise.
I love it because it's like a bunch of mini vacations all in one.
Right, because
so
you
get to
stops.
go to exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so cool. Yeah. Is there anything that people sometimes overlook when booking a vacation?
I mean, one of the best things like to do is to make sure you have all your paperwork in order before you head out. So you may not, your mobile device may not be working wherever you end up. You want to always make sure you have your passport. That is obviously the most important thing. But making sure you have everything in order to minimize the risk of anything going wrong.
Right. What about things like, you know, booking like a direct flight versus like a bunch of like connecting flights that you basically lose an entire day?
So we're really lucky that direct flights are increasingly common from Atlantic Canada to sun destinations. You can almost always find those options. But even if you can't, there's easy connections through Montreal Trudeau Airport or Toronto Pearson Airport. It really doesn't add a whole lot more time, maybe a couple hours. But typically, to the sunny destinations, you can find direct flights, especially out of Halifax.
Yeah. What would you say are some of the places that are really big for the families right now?
We always recommend Walt Disney World. I mean, it's a classic. That's a really, really wonderful choice. There's also some cruises that are really great and geared towards families. And then, you know, you can always, depending on how old your kids are, you can always look at adventure vacations. Those are always an option if you don't want to do the typical resort or cruise or Walt Disney World. There's lots of options, and a certified travel counselor would be able to guide you in that direction if you wanted to do something a little different.
Yeah, you mentioned you have 2 kids.
I do. I have 2 little boys.
And so have you taken them to Disney, or do you have plans plans in the near future?
No, they're
Are they too young?
little. My eldest is probably
Like on the
almost
cusp?
exactly. Yeah, they're 1 and 2.5. So we're probably going to wait a little bit until they can maybe appreciate it a little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't want to waste the experience.
Exactly.
But you're definitely going to take them. It's on
I'm very
your bucket
excited.
list.
Oh yes, I'm very excited. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, we were talking to the money finder earlier. She gave us lots of tips.
I know. I heard
on
that.
how to get our credit cards paid off, and she did suggest that no matter what, still go on that trip. So,
You got to.
so definitely pay off those credit cards, but also be saving money for that trip south. So she's the money finder, right?
She said you have to do it.
We have to do it.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming in. It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. Book those trips down south. Give yourself something to look forward to. This is CTV Morning Live. We'll be right back. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll see you in 2 minutes.